Thanks a lot, Swesha. Hello and good afternoon. You are watching Business Today show. I'm here, Sakshi Batra, but to get you all the market closing action. First up, let's take a look at what's hot in the corporate and the financial space. Markets remain under pressure on the last trading session of the week. That's amid the year-end thin volumes trade. The Sensex is down by about 350 points. The Nifty below 26,050. ID stocks tumble, but railway stocks surge up to 12%. This is on higher fares launched from today. Precious metals continue to shine at record high levels. MCX gold now surges past the 1.39 lakh rupees mark per 10 grams, rising nearly 80% in 2025, while silver jumps to 2.32 lakh rupees per kilogram, taking the year-to-date returns to a whopping 155%. Rate cut hopes, weak dollar, and the rising tensions between the US and Venezuela are adding to the price surge. Young investors continue to buy digital gold, and that's despite SEBI's warning of it being an unregulated product. The World Gold Council data shows that nearly 12 tons of digital gold were bought in the last 11 months, although the demand slowed down after SEBI's warning. Quick commerce company Zepto is now gearing up for an IPO debut. According to sources, the company has now filed papers for a massive 11,000 crore rupees IPO via the confidential route today, indicating the IPO could come into the new year. Along with Zepto, over 100 companies, including marquee names like Reliance Jio, NSE, Flipkart, PhonePe, these may all be launching their IPOs next year. Adani Group has unlocked 33 deals worth about $9.6 billion. That's a whopping 80,000 crore rupees since the Hindenburg saga, signaling its comeback after the short seller allegations that jolted the markets nearly 3 years ago. The buying spree spans core sectors like ports, cement, and power, indicating strong capital access and execution. Straight away, looking at how the markets are trading in the last half an hour of trade. Remember, this entire week, the markets have faced constant selling pressure at 26,200, then 26,100, and now we are trading below 26,050. Remember, we're at the day's low point, or just slightly above that, 0.4% lower in trade. The Nifty Bank will also show some weakness, although a tad bit of a pickup towards the end of the session. But that's because, remember, this is the year end and the FIIs are completely missing from the action, and there is thin volume trade that's taking place. IT stocks are the ones that have tumbled the most, 1% lower in trade. Autos are also driving in the slower lane. You can also look at financial services, pharma, infrastructure, PSU banks. All of them are down and out. Only the two sectors that are holding up into the green are metals and FMCG at this point in time. Let's straight away go across to our guest who's joining right in, Prashant Tapse, the Senior Vice President of Research Analyst at Mehta Equities. Prashant, welcome to you. Good to have you with us yet again. Tell me, how are you looking at the Christmas cheer that's absolutely absent from the stock markets right now?
I think yes, even Santa is missing with his. I think Santa is giving his color red to the markets right now.
Yeah.
We were expecting something green, but overall the absence of FIS and the absence of lot of positive events are creating some kind of negative impact in the markets, as well as the geopolitical tensions which are keep on rising again day by day, and the delay of US-India trade deal is also keeping some kind of concern for the Indian investors, and they want to simply sit aside and check market momentum. But overall sentiments are still negative. Technical factors also say some kind of a negative close below 26,000 will create a lot of selling pressure in the markets. So in and out, everything looks very much muted and negative in current point of time.
Absolutely. And when you look at the contrast between what's happening in gold and silver as an asset class and what's happening on D Street, there's an unstoppable rally that's continuing unabated for gold and silver investors. Most of the people at every level, when these gold and silver prices went to another record, at least 50 records is what they have broken already in this year, time and again, proving themselves to be the outperforming class. But a lot of FOMO that has come along with it. Even at this point in time, when we feel that the markets have not done as much as gold and silver, what is the advice that you are giving to investors?
See, it is really difficult to advise at this point of time. We failed to give a call on 1 lakh when gold touched 1 lakh rupees per 10
Yeah.
grams. Again, the cautious approach will remain same, but again, it is simply going out of our trading zone. But again, we know the demand and supply scenario. Demand is huge and supply is limited, so that is creating a lot of upside gap in silver as well as in the gold. And the way how small geopolitical tensions are also created in the market, which is also creating some kind of immediate push. And the way how the green energy, the solar, and the other things are going, it is getting fully funded by the silver prices. So I think even I heard Samsung has bought two big mines in the world, which are saying that for next 2 years they are in high demand for all their semiconductors as well as their electronic products.
Absolutely. Prashant, do help us understand how are you looking at assessing some of the key pockets that have started to move up again. Retail investors have been big on spaces like defense and railways. Over the last couple of days, we've seen a comeback of railways of sort. This entire year 2025, railway stocks have done nothing and therefore have created a lot of frustration among investors who had gone big on railway theme in 2024. This year, they did nothing, but towards the fag end, they're just showing some promise again. Is it the pre-budget rally? Is it just to do with that knee-jerk move of the prices that have been hiked on the tickets? How are you looking at the railway move?
I think two reasons you pointed it. One, right, with respect to budget, which is just 1 month ahead from the current levels. So I think that is also giving a lot of new theme action in the market with respect to defense as well as with respect to the railways. Obviously, you will get some kind of increasing capex by the government to both the sectors when we compare to last budget. But again, the valuations are very much comfortable. They have the way how they have been down from last 2 3 quarters. I think now only one thing can happen good is with respect to earning growth, which are expected from the Q3 earning from January 15th. Plus, budget allocations will keep on increasing some kind of visibility for the both the sectors going forward. I think the JVs between a lot of countries, the FTAs between a lot of countries also creating a lot of buzz with respect to defense as a segment. I think the Russia deal with India will be also updated very soon in coming few days.
Okay, got that. All right, viewers, let's move on to finding out on the largest FDI deal in India's BFSI sector that's just taken place last few days. As the Japanese firm MUFG bought a 20% stake in Shriram Finance for nearly 40,000 crore rupees. In fact, Business Today Group's editor Siddharth Zarabi also spoke with Shriram Finance Executive Vice Chairman Umesh Revankar on the deal's value for shareholders. Revankar also said benefits should definitely be visible from the first year, though through faster growth as well as efficiency gains. So let's listen into an excerpt of that conversation.
What would you say in response to my question that by when should shareholders take a call or judge whether this has been a value accretive deal from a perspective of understanding both the money, the capital and the practices and value that this partner is bringing onto the table now, Umesh?
I think the understanding is very clear, and we will definitely continue to run the business the way we have been running. But the only thing is, the opportunity being better, we'll be growing much faster. So the benefit will accrue through bigger growth, better bottom line, and also you can see the efficiency being built in the business, which will definitely help the shareholders to get the better get the benefit. And I think I don't see any timeline per se, but from the very first year, we should be able to give that kind of a comfort and confidence to the shareholders that this is a very good win-win situation for all.
Absolutely. Looking at the example of other Indo-Japanese collaborations and joint ventures and investment partnerships, products from India and the Indian business has also gone overseas, automotive being just one example, Umesh, that you are fully aware of. So therefore, I want to ask you, is the focus of this partnership going forward, at least in the near future, going to be largely India focused, or do you see any cross-border opportunities for Shriram outside of India as well?
Right now, our focus will be India. I think there is enough growth opportunity in India. See, if you really look at the government's roadmap for Viksit Bharat 2047, for at least next 2 decades, we have sufficient growth opportunity within India. And maybe if there are other opportunities that comes in between, we can definitely explore, but the focus will remain in India because of the great opportunity that is available.
Viewers, you can definitely watch the full interview on Business Today's special social media handles as well as on our YouTube as well. Whenever you wish to, it's already uploaded there as well. Now, let me go across to Prashant once again. And Prashant, I wanted to take a view on Shriram Finance and what this opportunity has really led to. Of course, the last couple of days, we have seen a stupendous move from the 52-week low levels. If you compare, after this deal was announced, the stock has shot up substantially as well. But today, we've seen some profit taking. Look at the last 1 week chart, about 6-7% of a move just took place. Help me understand, what would your fresh take be on Shriram Finance now?
Very positive, the way how Japanese are taking interest in the Indian financial markets, that too in a company like Shriram Finance. That gives a lot of confidence for India business story with respect to NBFC as a growth. So whenever they come with a partnership kind of mindset, not a strategic investor. So they are here for next 10-15 years. So one should look at like them and then invest in this company. In terms of valuations, very comfortable to have this kind of deal at this point of time. I think still a 10-15% kind of good growth can be expected in the stock, as I expect RBI liquidity push can bring a lot of growth in the NBFC as a sector. So overall, the deal looks very lucrative for me.
Very lucrative to you. All right, viewers, from the NBFC space, let's shift focus to the pharma space now. Remember, competition is heating up sharply in India's anti-obesity drug market. Within months, multiple GLP-1 based therapies have actually entered, driving a surge in demand and reshaping the treatment for obesity and diabetes. With generics on the horizon, the segment is actually headed for an even bigger shakeup. And for more on this, I'm now joined by my colleague Neetu Chandra. Neetu, 2025 has definitely been the year when these weight loss drugs entered our lives and changed the game forever when it comes to weight loss. And the big question is, come 2026, is the competition only going to get heated up?
Yes, absolutely. Sakshi, the last 1 year has sharply intensified competition in the anti-obesity drug segment, with 2025 emerging as the clear inflection point. So what's striking is that within just 7 and 8 months, we saw 3 major GLP-based therapies gaining traction in India and fundamentally changing the market, if we see that. So in March 2025, Eli Lilly launched Mounjaro, which is tirzepatide, in India. And importantly, Mounjaro is approved for both type 2 diabetes and chronic weight management. And its dual action mechanism made it immediately a popular drug among doctors treating obesity-linked diabetes. And just a few months later, in June and July 2025, Novo Nordisk followed up with Wegovy, the first globally branded obesity-specific injectable semaglutide to enter the Indian market. And this was a landmark moment because it formally positioned obesity as a chronic disease needing long-term drug therapy. And at the same time, oral semaglutide-based treatments already available for diabetes continued to see growing off-label use for weight loss. So effectively, 3 GLP-1 therapies gained strong momentum within months, driving unprecedented demand. And globally, the anti-obesity drug market is already worth over $25 billion, and it is projected to touch around $90 to $100 billion by 2030. India is still at a very early stage, but with nearly 100 million obese adults, the market opportunity is estimated to be around $2 to $3 billion, growing at 25 to 30% annually. And what's equally important, Sakshi, is the domestic response. So Indian pharmaceutical companies have already stepped up, and with several players, including Sun Pharma, Dr. Reddy's, and Cipla, indicating plans to launch semaglutide-based products.
Absolutely.
And especially at a patent.
Right, Neetu, on that front, thanks a lot for tracking all that for us. Clearly, 2026 seems to be an important year when it comes to, of course, more and more companies gearing up their own focus on the weight loss as well as the anti-obesity drug market, the diabetes drug market as well, and it's only going to see more and more competition going forward. Let me go across to Prashant right here. Prashant, how are you going to be looking at this entire space in the pharma industry? I think it was earlier the CDMO space, and now weight loss and anti-obesity has taken center stage there. What's your thought?
I think very positive. I think India is still in the nascent stage for this kind of business, but I think going forward, the way how diabetic has been, the India as a capital for this world. So I think even this can also be some kind of great opportunity for these companies like Sun Pharma and Cipla. Obviously, this market is growing very fast. So, what the traditional pharma business are, people are shifting towards this kind of alternate weight loss program, obesity program, and also I think even the people and the population is trying to make sure this is also one type of business where there should be a lot of growth opportunities in the business. So, a lot of Indian pharma companies are getting into such kind of agreements with the global pharma companies and getting those products in India. Yes, the competition is high, but the market is very huge.
Okay. Any key preferences within the pharma healthcare pack that you are betting big on for the new year?
I think supply should be the one stop. One should focus more on a trading bet. I think a small 5 to 6% rally can be expected for next 1 week to 10 days.
Okay, fair point. In fact, viewers, they'll also shift focus to the movies business right now. Remember, the big question is, are cinema tickets really becoming unaffordable at this point? And is pricey popcorn the real reason behind empty theatres? In an exclusive Business Today podcast, Karishma Sudani also spoke to Ajay Bijli, the managing director of PVR Inox. And from average ticket prices to the popcorn pricing debate that grabbed headlines, Bijli breaks down the numbers and explains how premium screens often distort the larger picture. Let's listen into an excerpt.
There's been some skepticism in the market in terms of families finding, say, the pricing a bit higher for tickets or even, say, F&B. Does that demotivate or is that a challenge when it comes to footfalls?
Well, if you look at our results, our average ticket price is 259 rupees. I think for 259 rupees, getting an experience the way we are giving, if it was a problem, then we wouldn't have got the number of people that we've got. I think people who talk about this, they come to a director's cut, or they'll go to Geo cinemas that we've got in Bombay or Akoramangala or in Bangalore Rex, and they look at the ticket price being 700, 600 rupees. They extrapolate that to be the entire average ticket price of PVR. So I think they need to do their homework a little bit more and then say ticket prices are high, because I don't think ticket prices are high for at all, because as I said, you can look at our published data. 259 rupees for an experience that we get, I don't think it's high.
But for that 259 ticket, the popcorn will still cost 400?
159 rupees.
150.
Yeah, again, the 400 ticket popcorn price, again, you're taking off a high-end cinema. And by the way, you get what you call unlimited refills with that. So people only read the headlines. They don't read the whole thing. So for 400 rupees, you also get unlimited refills.
Right. Well, because we're talking about popcorn, this year was quite a popcorn story, popcorn economics. Of course, it's now done and dusted because the GST has now been reduced. But what did you think about it, the whole debate between caramel popcorn and salted popcorn being charged differently?
I think the fact that it's got sorted out doesn't need me to go retrospective about it.
Right, viewers, you can actually watch this entire full podcast on Business Today's social media handles as well that are flashing on your screens. Prashant, PVR Inox right there in the midst of this entire good news coming in from Dhurandhar, 1,000 crore rupees box office. How are you looking at it?
I think it will be driven by movie to movie. I think the story is still very clear. Whenever we have a good story, good movie, the Khan story and all, I think that time the stock will run. But again, we are being very much waited with the OTT. I am waiting for Durandar to come on OTT and then watch on TV, my TV, not going to a theater, because the theater is totally now it is very expensive from my point of view. Again, see, going to there only watching movie and then taking around the whole mall and all, I think it will be more expensive for a family like me. So I think I am waiting for a OTT segment to be released. So that is why the prices are getting under pressure. So overall, it will be a very volatile movie-based approach, not the popcorn story.
Not the popcorn story anymore. Okay, 1,000 rupee for PVR Inox at this point in time. But there are other important stories also that we must keep pay an attention to. And one of the key stories in 2025 has been the record year of the IPOs as well. Prashant, you've been with us throughout 2025, decoding for all our viewers the kind of opportunities that threw themselves on the investors' front as far as the big IPOs that came in. Some of the largest ever IPOs in history of stock markets came in this year. We also saw a remarkable year when it came to the startups. At least 18 startups got listed in the 2024 season, and now we are getting to understand that it's Zepto that has confidentially also filed for an almost 11,000 odd crore rupees IPO. Of course, the figures will get confirmed once we get to know more details and once it is public, because it's a confidential filing. It is only the estimates that are doing the rounds right now. But of course, Zepto, How do you see this in 2026, the IPO market first of all, and Zepto coming in? What will be the impact on the quick commerce space? Is that space also getting heated up? Because you already have an Eternal, that's a parent company of Zomato. You already have Swiggy, and now you'll have Zepto too.
I think for Zepto, it will be very clear comparison between Swiggy and Zomato. But when Zomato got listed, there was no one to compare them, and that made the story for Zomato to be a 1x, 2x from the listing prices. But again, obviously, we have seen how the markets have gone through all the ups and downs in the quick commerce and as well as the delivery systems. But I think Zepto has done really great. With a short period of time, it has created a lot of market share, killing all the demarts of the markets and all. So I think so overall, welcome for us. I think it will create a lot of big markets for the new age businesses. But again, 2026, I think the momentum for IPO will remain same what it was in 2025. Yesterday, I read a report where I saw almost 365 companies got listed, including the main board as well as the SME segment. So I think that kind of mood can continue the way how liquidity is there in the markets. If you see ICICI potential, we got almost 3 lakh crore worth of money which was blocked for only ICICI AMC. So there is huge money to come into markets and the mood will remain very positive.
Mood will remain very positive. Which are the IPOs that you are really looking forward to in 2026 now, Prashant?
I think biggest would be NSE. It has been the longest waiting for us. So NSE should come within this financial year. That is the biggest request from us to the markets.
Okay, got that. Tell me now, if I have to ask you on the outlook on 2026 for the markets, what is it that you will pencil in for our viewers, and what are the kind of strategies you're devising for them? Any key themes that you believe one should track? I mean, metals have started to pull up. We have seen the precious metals rally, and that's now probably fueling its way into the base metals. Look at what copper has done. It's emerged as the unsung hero. Now you're looking at, platinum as well, which has been a completely forgotten metal. So how are you looking at the metal story really charting themselves out for 2026?
I think the biggest rally of metal has already happened now. I think there is some kind of 15-20% momentum in the current levels. That has to be justified very clearly. I have seen demand and supply mismatch. Obviously, supply is very less, demand is very high. So that is creating a lot of buzz with respect to premium in the prices always. See, suddenly increasing of 10,000 rupees in silver, as there is no reason for that. Obviously, supply is less, demand is low. So that is creating a lot of things. But going forward, I think we need to use some kind of proxy investment with respect to Hindustan Zinc, Hindustan Copper, or Hindalco in such cases. So we will be having some kind of investments in these kind of stocks. But again, the other stocks like all the biggest IPOs like Lenskart, I think that will also take a lot of opportunity to buy at the current levels, because next 1 year I think the stock can do really very well.
Okay, and overall for the markets, which are the segments that you expect to outperform, and what is the expectation on the index front?
I think with respect to sectors, I think we discussed even yesterday, banking would be the first sector which I'm bullish on. Again, second, new age sector should be one sector which should bullish on. Make in India theme should continue to do very well in going forward for next 1 year. With respect to markets, again, I think Nifty, we have a target of almost 27,200 for a very base conservative way, and 28,000 should be on the best case scenario for Nifty to rally for next 12 months.
Okay, fair point. Just a minute to go before we shut shop. So Prashant, we'll focus on the market closing and we'll come back to you for all the questions that our viewers have sent to you as well. So 26,047 viewers, that's where we are at as far as the markets are concerned. We managed to just pull up a tad bit from the day's lowest point, but we are still struggling. Let's see whether we close above that 26,050 odd mark or we struggled on that front as well. The Nifty Bank, a similar chart to the Nifty, and that's also ending almost 0.3% lower in trade. Let's also look at the big drag. So IT stocks, that's where the pressure came in, and 1% lower for this index. Autos followed next as well. That was also another space that declined. Look at the mid and the small caps as well. The broader markets that showed us some promise in the morning trade, but again have ended towards the day's low point as well, both for the mid caps and the small caps ending in the lower trade. So a large broader picture and a broad-based sell-off is what we've witnessed on Friday. The FMCG sector, however, managed to just float above the flat line. You can also look at the metals that managed to shine bright, about 0.5% higher amidst all that weakness that we were witnessing right through the day. Let's also look at the top gainers on your screens then, which have been the stocks that managed to pull themselves up in an otherwise weak setup. You will see Titan, from the consumer durable space, 2% higher. Hindalco, Nestle also moving up. So I think it's the consumption story that pulled up. The NTPC stocks, Cipla that Prashant also mentioned, ONGC, all of these stocks also managed about 0.5% of gains. So even the gains are very, very minimal. When we look at the drags, when you look at Asian Paints, Shriram Finance, Bajaj Finance, the NBFC space did look at some profit taking. TCS, Tech Mahindra, Bajaj Auto, these were the other laggards, about 1.5% of losses that came in on that front as well. So that's how the markets have shut shop, viewers. Let's now take some of your queries there. We have the first query coming in from Mahesh from Jaipur. Prashant, the first question is on the union budget. So Mahesh says the union budget is not very far. So is it the right time to buy railway stocks ahead of the budget?
I think on a trading basis, yes, you should buy something like IRFC, which is a proxy for the whole sector to invest in. And RVNL can be a second stock. One should still have some kind of 15-20% momentum in the current levels. Yes, as a trader, keep a stop loss and then you can buy the story.
Okay, Smita from Bhopal comes in next with her question. Smita says silver is making constant record highs every day. So how should I be investing in it now?
I think silver ETF can be one direct way to tap the growth. Again, second, there can be something like that. Hindustan Zinc can be one stock one should focus on. Hindalco can also be one stock which can focus on, where indirectly you can participate the growth in the silver story.
I think that's an important point that you've highlighted when it comes to silver particularly, that a lot of investors who are fearful of what the prices will do tomorrow, ETFs is a great way. You get a lot of entry points. You can constantly stagger your purchases there. The way you do it with your mutual funds, I think it's a great way to take an entry at any point in time. And ETFs, just like how stocks are traded on the exchanges, it can give you multiple entry points in a day's course as well. So gold ETFs, silver ETFs are a great way to look at it. But Prashant, if I have to ask you, many people also suggest that physical, gold and silver gives us that confidence that, you can reach out to it for easy liquidity. How would you explain to those viewers who have this entire confidence in the physical aspect or appeal of gold and silver rather than the digital forms?
So again, having a physical gold will trigger a lot of issues with respect to taxes and also I think that should be the one reason one should avoid having a physical gold at home. And there is a security concern and all. A lot of things comes under when you take a physical gold. So ETF is the best way to go through. Even there was an instrument, something called as SJP again. So I think that is not available right now. But again, obviously physical carries a lot of risk, taxes and all. But we prefer to have a very digital gold, not a smaller digital gold, but again ETF model to have gold in your portfolio.
Okay, we'll take the last question now with you, Prashant, today from our viewers. We have this question coming in from Manvinder from Chandigarh, who says, I want to invest 1 lakh rupees on the new year. Can you please tell me the best way to invest this money?
I think mutual fund should be the best way to go and invest because you have 1 lakh rupees and you don't have any clue what you are going to do, a long-term investment or a trading on investment. So I think mutual fund will give you a lot of opportunities indirectly participating or indirectly diversifying your portfolio. So a flexi cap fund can be best for you.
Fantastic, Prashant. Thank you so much for being with us on the show. And it's always a pleasure to have you with us to guide all our viewers there. And hope you have a fantastic weekend ahead. That's a wrap, viewers, on the Business Today show. And in case you too have any questions about your investments in mutual funds, in your SIPs, stocks-related queries, or gold-related questions, then please do send them to us on the number that's flashing on your screens. Here's wishing you all a very happy weekend. But don't forget to catch us back on Monday morning at 9 a.m. with all the opening action.